The main rules in rugby are 80 minutes with two 40-minute halves, no pads,
we have to stick together
with 15 players on each side.
On the downside, you just get in the way.
You can't pass the ball forwards.
I see gray skies, and I feel a little better. I see gray skies ahead.
When you score, you have to touch the ball down on the ground, and it's called a try.
Oh, all the right people seem squeaky clean. Well, all the right people mean nothing to me. Cheating and creeping just to stay on track. They'll offer one hand, they'll put a knife in your back. You notice that something is terribly wrong. When they offer the world, then they turn and they're gone. They knew from the start you could never belong. You came from the outside, you'll stay on the outside.
Well, all throughout high school, I had a couple friends who played rugby, and they were constantly just nagging me, trying to get me to play. Once my senior year came around, I decided to give it a shot, and ever since my senior year of high school, I've been playing rugby.
Rugby came from soccer. There was a guy in Rugby, England. They're playing soccer. He got frustrated. He picked up the ball and ran. And that was the beginning of rugby.
It was a combination of kind of basketball, football, soccer, all sports of which I had played growing up. So I went and played at the University of Colorado. And from there I played a dozen years with a men's club down in Maryland.
So I coached Tufts for 4 years, and the commissioner of our league, the Colonial Coast Conference, called me up and told me about the Endicott College job, and he just thought that I would be a perfect fit.
Every year we usually get around like 5 new guys, but in total I'd say we have probably around like 30, consistently 30 guys that are on the team.
It's definitely the most challenging sport as an athlete. The training that you actually have to develop. I never did some of those things. I lifted weights, ran sprints, but running to you're basically getting sick, which is part of training. It's challenging physically, and it's a great mental game as well.
My first impression after seeing that there were no pads when you play rugby, I thought it would be a lot more dangerous. But after playing it, getting a feel for the game, I realized that it's not nearly as dangerous as people think.
First of all, I didn't know the bad rep that it had being dangerous. Second, I think football is more dangerous than rugby.
The style of tackling and the way the game is played is a lot different than football. You're not really putting your body on the line as much. So in a way, it's a little safer than football, I feel, just because you focus more on tackling and protecting your body when you're playing rather than just laying your body out on someone like you do in football.
The fact that you don't have padding brings a bit of sanity to the game. You're not just throwing your body around thinking that padding is going to protect you, because padding is not going to protect you. My worst injury was actually at practice, and I got knocked unconscious. I got basically just dragged by the back of the jersey over another player and landed on my head and knocked unconscious and went to the hospital.
Recently, I had to get 6 stitches in my forehead because I went head-to-head with some kid, and it just split open.
My wife and mother would say the worst one was I fractured my skull and ruptured my eardrum at the same time.
I was back wing freshman year, came in, got tackled, and I broke my nose.
I got a punch that gave me 6 stitches here.
Put my teeth through my lip.
I broke my middle finger.
I got a hip pointer down here.
Broken nose a couple times a season.
A lot of stitches, broke my nose, a few times or more.
I got 1 concussion. That's it.
I joined the rugby team in the spring semester my sophomore year, and in the 3rd game I'd ever played, which is at Salem State, during the middle of the game, I was running, went to make a cut. I heard 2 pops in my knee and went right down and threw the ball. And eventually, once the trainer came on, he thought everything was fine. He thought I could walk off, and I told him I think there was something seriously wrong with my knee. And at that point, I went to the hospital and found out that my ACL, MCL, and meniscus had all been torn in my right knee. Tough go.
It's a great sport. I've played, every single sport there is, and a lot of them are great sports. Rugby, for me at least, takes the top.
It's an incredible game. It tests your wills, from a teammate perspective, you'll never rely on somebody more than you do your rugby teammates.
Yeah, most of the guys that are on the team, we're all like really good friends. We see each other off the field a bunch. We're always with each other on weekends. The crazy thing is, I wouldn't have known half the kids on the team if it weren't for rugby. I mean, I'd see them around campus, but never really got to know them. And it turns out all these guys are a bunch of really good guys.
Even knowing that rugby is a dangerous game and the physical toll that it takes in the end, is it worth it?
Fuck yeah.
Could I be finally finding out that there's absolutely nothing worth shouting about? Faced with the choice of just losing my voice, and it's fine by me. Oh, all the right people seem squeaky clean. Well, all the right people mean nothing to me. Cheating and creeping just to stay on track. They'll offer one hand, they'll put a knife in your back. You notice that something is terribly wrong when they offer the world, then they turn and they're gone. They knew from the start you could never belong. You came from the outside, you'll stay on the outside.